It's no secret that animation is a prevalent aspect of modern pop culture. Classic shows and movies that most of us have viewed at one point or another owe their existences to the medium. It's practically everywhere, but it doesn't have that long of a history. However, it makes up for its lack of length with just how interesting it really is, so let's dive in. The first ever animated film was titled Humorous Phases of Funny Faces and was created in the United States by a man named James Stewart Blackton. It was made in 1906, but the first ever animated segment was made by the same man in the year 1900. Humorous Phases of Funny Faces was animated with a chalkboard. It was the first time that a convincing illusion of movement could be displayed through drawings, though technically it was done through stop-motion photos. In 1908, the first hand-drawn cartoon called Phantasmagorie was made in France by Émile Cohl. In their earliest era, animated films were all silent, just like their live-action counterparts. One of the most famous characters in animation history, Felix the Cat, was born in 1919, designed by Otto Mesmer in New Jersey. Felix is considered to be the first animated movie star. After a few years went by and cartoons gained some popularity, the well-known Walt Disney entered the scene with his first ever character, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, in 1927, a personal favorite of mine. Mr. Disney had his first major success with Steamboat Willie in 1928. This art style, known as rubber hose, was popular until about the 1940s. From the 30s to the 50s is what people deemed the golden age of animation. This is when it really started to influence popular culture. Out of this era came beautiful hand-drawn works such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Tom and Jerry cartoons, and even the Looney Tunes. Some of these well-established characters were used in a way that could now be considered a bit controversial. During the events of World War II, animation was often used as propaganda around the world. Some cartoons were used as informational guides for soldiers. But other animated shorts still brought entertainment and enjoyment to the people, which was desperately needed at the time. By the 1960s, it was back to simple entertainment. Shows like The Flintstones, Yogi Bear, and Pink Panther emerged during this time. Movies such as The Sword and the Stone, another favorite of mine, and Robin Hood are notable animated films of this time as well. Post-1980 marks the modern era of animation, though it will likely have a different name after some time passes. There are a couple of key elements to this time frame, most importantly being the introduction of CGI. CGI, or computer-generated imagery, is quite different from the hand-drawn styles used prior. It uses 3D modeling to get characters and objects to move and has become very popular in the movie-making industry. The first of these films was made in 1984 and is called The Adventures of Andre and Wally B. 1995's Toy Story was the first fully computer-animated feature film. CGI is used in some of our more modern favorites, such as WALL-E, How to Train Your Dragon, Frozen, and so on. However, hand-drawn works have not fallen out of the picture. Many of our favorite cartoons of the modern era, including things like The Simpsons, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, and so on, are integral to the pop culture of this generation. Not only is animation used to make films, but it is also used in video games. A couple very notable examples of this are masterpieces such as Cuphead, which brings back the rubber hose style, and Hollow Knight. Animation is not limited to cartoons and movies as it once was. The video game medium has taken to it quite well. And in more modern times, just about anyone can have access to animation tools. That could be a flipbook and a pencil, or a digital medium, like the one I'm using for this project. Platforms such as YouTube allow many more animators to thrive and influence pop culture than before. People like Jaden Animations are fantastic examples of this. Now, if you put all this and then some on a map, it should look something like this. You can see here that revolutionary works are represented by green, notable entertainment with yellow, and works with a purpose are shown as red. Without a doubt, animation has had and continues to have a prominent role in pop culture around the globe. It has entertained and educated since 1900. As an avid cartoon fan myself, I have no trouble believing that the medium of animation will bring more people together in the years to come. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.